Hey guys, what's up? I'm Captain Turbo and welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania for the NES. Or should I just say Castlevania 1. And we're falling. Ah, my legs! Oh well. Anyway guys, we're now in the caverns, I guess, of Castlevania. This is definitely when things start to pick up a little bit in difficulty. Now, by difficulty I mean complete and total bullshit, because those Aquaman, whatever you want to call them, I'm not sure what their names are, they have a nasty tendency to jump out at the worst possible fucking moment, and because of knockback, you're going to get knocked back into the fucking water, and this happened to me about 12 times. So yeah, not a big fan of the Aquaman. I'm really not a fan of the knockback shit these games tend to do. But we're done with that part, thankfully. This, however, is a fucking killer. This next part. These griffins, falcons, whatever the fuck they are, dropping flea men, and because of the flea men's sporadic patterns, and they can come from both the right and the left, this is honestly one of the worst sections in the game. I died here so many fucking times, it's ridiculous. Look at this shit. The only chance you have here is if you have the stopwatch with a lot of hearts to spare. Technically speaking, I could just go for the door, but I wanted to kill it so I could pick up some hearts, and I got lucky and got the Roman free. That right there is the worst section in the entire game, in my honest opinion, just because, like I said, unless you have the stopwatch, you are fucking screwed. Do not pick up the knife, especially at this part of the game. It's a piece of shit. These things take a few hits to kill, and sadly a lot of those hearts disappear off screen. I think usually a Roman numeral will appear in that brick where I just picked up the health, but because I have all three already, I think it gives you health, food instead. I'm not sure really, I think that's how it works. Ooh, look at all that money. Too bad it's all worthless. And we're nearly at the boss, thankfully. Oh yeah, and if I didn't mention it already, yeah, this, guys, is the finale already. This is only a two-parter. As I said, Castlevania is not a long game, but we have Frankenstein and a Fleaman. The Fleaman, I don't actually think hitting it will do any damage to the health bar. You gotta hit Frankenstein to actually win that fight. But that's the end of that level anyway. And I think it's like, we'll see in a second, I think. I'm not sure how many points you need to actually get an extra life. I think it's like 25,000 every time, something like that. Stage 13, technically stage 5, depending on how you view it as, is difficult. This is, the last stage was difficult, but this is where it really ranks up. Is that the right terminology? I don't know. Yeah, this is where the difficulty really begins to get into gear, for lack of a better word. You know, the last stage had that annoying section with the Fleaman, but apart from that, with a bit of time and patience, you could get through the level with relative ease. This, however, is definitely where things pick up in difficulty, let's say. Now, the skeletons aren't actually that difficult of enemies to avoid and kill. In fact, I think one hit with the whip is enough to kill them, but there's going to be a couple that have terrible placement, and it really feels unfair. Get some more money, so why not? And no, apparently it's not 75,000 because it's not every 25,000 because we've already passed that, and I'm still only on 4 lives. Oh, maybe it's every 40,000. Okay. Either way, it's actually pretty difficult to get lives in this game, but it doesn't matter. I think you have unlimited continue, so lives are pretty meaningless actually. The red skeletons you can't kill permanently. You can sort of knock them out for a short period of time like this. But unfortunately they'll never disappear. You know what, I've just looked in the background, I've never noticed those skeletons chained up before. That's pretty fucking scary actually. Remember guys, this is an NES game. You know, this is meant for kiddies and the younger audience. The Axemen are the worst fucking enemies in the game. Well, not the worst, but the most versatile, I should say. I think they take something like 9 or 11 hits, something like that. It's actually easy to just sort of knock them off screen, to be perfectly honest. I actually was trying to count there, but because they kept going off screen, I kept losing count. I think, let's just call it 10, shall we? They're kind of like their own mini-boss in their own way. Yeah, if you got a choice between playing this or Super Castlevania 4, which as I said is a remake, play Super Castlevania 4. It's just a much better designed game. Only play this one if you want to do what I did and go back right to the series' roots. You know, this isn't a terrible game or anything, don't get me wrong. It's just, when you have a choice, it's definitely the latter of the two choices you'll be making. Or I should say, it'll be the one you won't be making. Look at this guy, he's not fucking dying. And I've got this red skeleton on my ass as well. One lousy heart. That's not much of a secret. Shame there's no the last Castlevania thing to be announced was that fucking pachinko machine thing. Castlevania Erotica something or other, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a pachinko machine. You can see there the heart's actually, Holy War is actually really good for the Axemen. But yeah, no Castlevania game announced in quite a while. I think the last one was Lords of Shadows 2. Which wasn't exactly well received, but I think it's supposed to take place in its own continuity. I think the last main continuity Castlevania game was one of the ones for the DS, like Portrait of Ruin or something like that. No, I would actually like them to announce a new Castlevania game, I really would. But then again, I suppose Bloodstain will have to suffice for now. Obviously, if that actually goes through and gets finished. Let's hope it actually sees the light of day. I'd really like to see that. Wish I'd have been paid around that time. I'd have actually donated to the Kickstarter. Pot roast, and yes, it is pot roast. It's not turkey. It's not what is it you guys call it in America? Fuck. Jesus, I really can't think of the name. Oh well. Anyway, we got a boss fight here. Death. Now, if you do what I do here and just waylay on him with holy water like this, he will be no threat whatsoever, but you do kind of need at least double shot, I think, with the holy water. And that corridor before death is supposed to be one of the hardest sections in the game, but I still say the section with the griffins and the fleamen is the hardest part of the game. Or at least second hardest. Anyway, we're technically entering the last level of the entire game now. Stage 16 or stage 6. Don't bother with the axe. I do like the aesthetics of the actual castle there. That looks pretty cool. And no, that is not a boss. The giant bats have now been relegated to just normal enemies. Thankfully, you don't have like hundreds of Medusas and stuff now. And I got really lucky here that this thing didn't actually kill me because I was very close to dying. But thankfully, it off-screened itself. I don't know what the hell happened there. A bit of a glitch. Don't know if that's going to show up on recording. That was not editing on my part. I don't know what the fuck that was. Still managed to get through that. I did die a few times, guys, not gonna lie. Save states and stuff did happen there. We're coming up to a section that can be very fucking difficult. I'm not gonna say yet because we're not there quite yet. Again, the skeleton is not actually that difficult to avoid. Just take your time and you'll be fine. Fuck the knife. Alright, here we go. The griffins and the flea men again. Just head downstairs as quick as you can. Try and avoid getting hit. You saw a jump cut there. One hit would have killed me. Let's put it that way. If I got hit once, it was game over for me. Well, it wasn't game over. I'd had to redo the entire section. I got really lucky there. Give me the heart. But that is the last level of the game. Don't be fooled. You saw the jump cut. It is the hardest section. One of the 2 hardest sections in the game. Anyway, we're now at the final boss. Or we will be in a moment once I've done a bit of heart grinding. Yeah, don't go too far into that room, otherwise the boss will trigger. You saw another jump cut there. I was basically just safe stating because I actually fell off the stairs while I was grinding for hearts, so... yeah, be careful of that. I'd say go into this with about 30 to 40 hearts, and that should be enough. Hell, 30 might be enough. That last one there actually sometimes contains either the holy water or a cross, I believe. But unfortunately, I don't think the holy water will do much for this boss. You've just basically got to whip it in the face. And believe me, guys, trying to do this with 4 units of health was not easy. Now, the second form is actually pretty easy. Trying to do this with 4 units of health, sorry, is annoying. Unfortunately, sometimes the hit won't register like that, so yeah. But I ended up spending a lot of time. Oh, and I did die. Oh, oh, come on, Adam. All the time I spend editing, you think I'd catch stuff like that, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's why, obviously, even touching Dracula you'll suffer 4 units of health in terms of damage. So yeah, you really need to avoid him as best you can. And I got very lucky there because it looked like he appeared right where I was, so... there you go, another death. Did I perhaps leave the deaths in to show how hard it can be to avoid him? I can't... Again, guys, I recorded this a good month ago, probably a bit more than that, actually. You know, I've just not had the time or been in the mood to actually do a commentary, so... there you go, first form down. You can't see it, but I was doing the save stat there. As soon as he appears, start throwing that fucking holy water. Do not let him out of it. The holy water will do damage, but the best thing to do is throw holy water and then whip him in the head. Just pretty much like this, to be honest, and you know, he's proven to be a complete and utter joke. Again though, don't let this guy touch you, especially with only as much health as I have. I will die with 1 hit, I believe. But there you go, guys. That is Dracula done. That is Castlevania done. And we are done with this Let's Play pretty much. We've got about a minute and a half left. So I'll start talking about my thoughts and opinions, shall I? Castlevania 1, only play this game if you're interested to see where Castlevania started out. Otherwise, I would definitely recommend doing the Super Castlevania 4 game instead. It's just a better remake, and it has more features and more levels and stuff like that, and the music is superior as well. But this is not a bad game, guys. And, oh yeah, by the way, all the names are pretty much just jokes on the Bram Stoker's Dracula, I believe, or just Dracula stuff in particular. I don't care. Castlevania series in future. I will at some point do Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. I don't know when. I will do it though. Symphony of the Night is definitely on the books for sometime in the next year or two for me to record. I don't know when. This game though, as I said, it's a good game. Wicked Child's still my best fucking piece of music in this, my favorite piece of music in this game by far. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and well, I'll see you in the next Let's Play, but until then, I hope you have a good night. Sleep tight.